Hey, everybody. Welcome back to In My Head channel. I'm your host, Brent, where if it's in my head, it's probably going to end up on this channel talking with you guys about it. I'm back with Carla for another video. Carla, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
Are you staying dry?
Yes. It's been a weird May so far. I think May and April switch places here. We've had a lot of rain, but today is like absolutely gorgeous out. So it's nice for once.
It's been raining for 3 days straight here. I think I saw Art go by. My backyard's flooded.
Yeah, you got that from us then, because we had it all last week.
Yeah, and it's supposed to rain into the next couple days.
Yep, same here.
But we did not come here to talk about the weather. That's an added bonus.
Yeah.
Today, this is the third installment, the final volume 3 of Kiss Greatest Hits. And this is the albums that are from the 90s to on. So we're basically dealing with Revenge from 92, Carnival of Souls from 97, Circus from 98, Sonic Boom from 2009, and 2012, Monster from 2012. So before we get started, I want you to be sure that you like, comment, subscribe. Thanks to all my Patreons. That's scrolling up somewhere on the screen. Thanks to those who are purchasing from TeePublic. And be sure and go back to the video if you look, and I'll even put a tag up here somewhere so you can check it out. You have until May 26th. This video will release on May 17th. So you have until the 26th to enter to win Gene right there, to win the Mego doll. So go back to that previous video and watch the video to see how you can win that Gene Mego doll. Have until the 26th, Carla. You're eligible too.
I'm going to enter. I want it. So
Carla is eligible, guys. And if she does win, there's no sleight of hand. If she wins it honest.
Yeah, because you don't know my YouTube handle. I don't tell anyone that, so that you have no idea.
Right, exactly. And that's great. I love that you do that. The winner will be revealed in a video on June 7th. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you what that video is going to be. It's going to be revealed sometime during mine and Carla's Kiss Summer Playlist video. We're going to film that in a couple weeks, and that will be out on June the 7th. So that's all the housekeeping I've got. Only thing I can say is I haven't mentioned it in a while, but be sure to check out the side project, Critical Kiss. We are getting ready to this week shoot the video for Love Gun. Excited about that. Is Love Gun critical? And if it is, what's critical about it? And so we're going to be talking about that over on Critical Kiss with Tommy and AJ. Be talking about that, shooting that this week. And I don't know when Tommy's going to put it out. That's kind of his baby. So, and we'll see what we think about Love Gun. But today, in today's video, we're going to see what we think about the songs that are on these albums released from 92 to 2012. Let's get right into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Boise, Idaho. Don't touch anything!
So, like I said, this is our third installment, volume 3. Me and Carla's been kicking the tires on some other types of greatest hits and lists that we can do. So you guys will just have to check back on the channel in the future. Go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notifications when videos come out. I know that a lot of you really enjoy Carla being in videos with me. I enjoy having a co-host. I get lonely doing stuff by myself. So, and you can only talk so much Kiss to an object that doesn't talk back, like a camera. So it's nice to have somebody that agrees with you, disagrees with you, and it's great. So but we have come up with our own list. This is 20 songs taking off of these albums. So you could average 4 songs per album. 4 songs per album. Did you get a song off every album, Carla?
Absolutely not.
I was wondering.
No, 2 albums I didn't even touch. Did not even touch with these. Just very quickly, this is out of the multiple eras or decades of Kiss, 90s beyond is my least listened to decade. I mean, there are songs on this list that are some of my favorite Kiss songs of all time, but overall, it's just not the time of Kiss's history that I gravitate towards the most. So there are 2 albums here I didn't even touch, didn't even bother with, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to pick one off of them. This was the hardest list I made out of the 3 we've done, because I really had to go back and re-listen to every single album. Whereas with the other 2, I was just kind of able to I just kind of knew, and I was able to go from there. So this was a hard one, but I did it. I got 20 off of the three albums out of 5.
3 out of 5. I'm going to go ahead and spoil and say that I did get one. I managed to, I made a concerted effort to get 1 out of every album. And one album in particular, I really had to question my choices, my life choices on that, because I had to, do I really want to pick a song off this album at all? So what I did was I actually looked at the album and I'm like, okay, if any of those songs, if I could keep any of them, this would be the one that I would keep. And like I said, and I'm sure Carla feels the same sentiment. This is not a shot at any Kiss fan who likes any particular era, or if this is your era that you like, or even if the albums that we either picked no songs or less songs off of, those may be what you call, everybody has their entry level when it comes to Kiss. And those albums in that era usually ends up being your favorite. It's the one that's like gives you the most nostalgia and is the nearest to your heart. So, so just don't take offense. What I would like to see is like we like to see in every video is, Carla, you see now why I'm not a DJ.
Yeah.
I really have to think about what I'm saying before I say it. If I'm like just spinning, I'm all over myself.
Right.
But what we like to see is your lists. Mm-hmm. So if we pick too many songs off of albums you wouldn't pick songs off of, or you'd pick more songs off of ones we picked less off of, put it down in the comments, because I do read the comments and try to respond to most of them. So be sure to put that down there. So we're going to kick it off. I'm going to let you kick it off. I've done my list the same way as I did before. I'm going to start with, I think Carla, she might have 1 or 2 that's in a particular spot, and then the rest of them is no random order. Is that how you did it this time too?
Yeah. So like the 70s and 80s, my number 1 is my favorite song from this era. And then 2 through 20 are just completely random. Just okay. There is no order whatsoever.
All right. And true to what I've done in the previous 2 videos is I started with the oldest album, which is Revenge, and worked my way down through my list to the final album, which is Monster. So we'll go ahead and get started. We'll start with you, and you can start with your first track.
Okay, so I don't know if you can hear that dog barking outside. It's not me, it's a dog barking. But my number 1 pick, or my number 1 track, I should say, is my number 1 pick. It is my favorite song from this era. It's a single. I absolutely love it. It's very near and dear to my heart. And it's off of Revenge. And it is God Gave Rock and Roll to You. I love this video, especially now what we know about Eric. I love that he's in this video. I love Bill and Ted, so it's kind of fun that that's associated with Bill and Ted. And I know, Brent, you are not a fan of Preacher Paul. I love Preacher Paul, and so we definitely get a dose of that at the end of this song. And it's just a good one. So that's my number one off of Revenge. God gave rock and roll to you.
Yep. You know me too well, and I know you too, because I didn't pick this song because I knew that you would. And I know we picked a lot of the songs together, and a lot of that. And I'm very curious to see how many songs. I need to get my pen out because I'm very curious to
I
see
got
how
mine.
many songs we pick
Yeah, me
together
too.
on this one.
Me
Because
too.
I have a feeling we may be a lot different
Yeah.
on this one potentially. But yeah, you're right. I love God Gave Rock and Roll to You. It was initially on my list. My initial list was about 30 tracks, and then I
Wow.
had to kind of pare it down. I just went through and picked every song off of the albums that I would have liked, and then I had to start paring it down. So that's how I always did it. I cut that one. It was a late cut because I was thinking, and I'm like, Carla very likely has that. And
Yep.
yeah, Preacher Paul at the end ruins it for me. Once he starts, that means you, that means Skip. It's like, next.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you know. Revenge ties with another album that I picked the most songs off of. I picked 6 songs off Revenge because I absolutely love Revenge. It's one of my favorite Kiss albums.
Mhm.
And I love the fact that it sounds like Gene and Paul were making 2 different albums.
Yes.
Gene's Paul's are all in this vein, and Paul's songs are all in this vein.
Yes.
Gene's talking about being unholy, and Paul's talking about going down to the local titty bar.
Yeah.
So it's just like, they're like going in 2 different directions, but Ezrin did a good job on this one and made it work. And
Mhm.
that's another thing, a little quick plug for a future video that's going to be coming. Me and Carla are going to reimagine The Elder. Like, we're going to boot Ezrin out of the studio because he needed to be. You put him in rehab, get him off the coke, and we're going to reimagine The Elder. And I think we're going to have some differences in opinions and visions on that as well. So that's coming up in another video.
Mhm.
But so my first song off of Revenge, it has to be the first song that and this might be one of my favorite songs on this list. So it's good that it's right in the beginning. And that's the Demon song, Unholy.
Yeah.
Love that song. All right.
Yeah.
Next
It's a
one.
good one. Okay, so number 2 for me, again, so from 2 to 20, no order whatsoever, completely random. I wanted to space out the albums a little bit. I didn't want to have albums kind of grouped together. I kind of wanted them spaced out as much as I could with 3 albums. Like I said, 2 of them don't even make the cut. So did try to space them out. Number 2, off of Psycho Circus, Into the Void. Psycho Circus just overall is an album I kind of forgot. I forgot how much I liked it. I don't love it, but I like it a lot more than I thought I did. So when I re-listened to it, I was like, oh, I should put this in my regular rotation of Kiss albums, despite its history and flaws and what have you. But yeah, that's my number 2, Into the Void.
All right. My number 2, one of my favorite songs off of Revenge, and one of my favorite Paul songs, probably a top 20 for me. I talked about Unholy, and then I talked about Paul going down to the local topless bar. Take it off. And that is so 90s. That is such a 90s, late 80s. It's kind of starting to phase out in the 90s, but yeah, Take It Off should have been off one of their albums like Hot in the Shade or
Yes.
Crazy Nights or something in the middle of that Sunset Strip 80s era. It could have been a hit. It could have been a monster being on during that time. Just a little too late. But yeah, so my second track is Take It Off.
My number 3, going back to Revenge. This is one that it's just, again, it's just a song I had to include on this list, not only because it's great, but because I really wanted to make sure that Eric Carr was represented on this list. So off of Revenge, number 3 for me is Car Jam 1981. You can't, I love a good Kiss instrumental, and this is a good one. I'm so glad that this was included on the album. And like I said, I had to put it in my list. So, like I said, Revenge, Car Jam, 1981, number 3 for me.
Okay. My number 3, sticking with Revenge, I had to go back to Gene. I love this song. It's probably one of my favorite Gene songs, and that would be Spit.
Mm.
Him and Gene and Paul were running down the same road with Spit, and it's got those trade-off vocals between Gene and Paul, which I love. That makes a song for me, and I can't get enough of it. I can't get enough of Gene and Paul singing together and trading lyrics off with each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, Spit is my number 3.
Every time you say Gene, I think you're going to go with a different song. And then you like don't. And then it throws me off. So number 4 for me, now I'm going into Carnival of Souls. So by now you should know which 2 albums I skipped. Carnival of Souls is such a unique album because it is a Kiss album that should never have been a Kiss album. It would have been a great Alice in Chains album. It would have been a good Candlebox, like just any grunge band or just any band that isn't Kiss. I feel like would have had more success with this album. It just doesn't. I don't know. It's just Kiss. I think they're just trying to reach a little too far into a genre that they just wasn't theirs to reach into. That being said, still a great album in my opinion. Still has some great songs. And I feel like this is a good example of it. At number 4 off of Carnival of Souls, I went with Rain.
Okay. All righty.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Okay. My number 4, I stuck with Gene and have a couple more Gene songs off of Revenge because
Yeah.
I love almost every song from Gene on Revenge. I don't know if I picked every one or not, but I like all of them. I love the attitude of this song on Revenge that Gene sings, and that is Thou Shalt Not.
Mm.
I love Thou Shalt Not.
It's a good one. Yeah, I kind of felt the same way about Gene on Revenge. It was like I liked all of them, and then I just kind of had to narrow it down. So yeah, I feel the same way. Number 5, going back to Psycho Circus. What I love most about this song, and as soon as I say it, you'll probably know exactly which one it is. I believe it's the only Kiss song with all 4 members singing on it. And I love that. And I hate that there's only one.
I believe it
and
is.
Again, going back to the history of Psycho Circus and knowing what we know now about who was on it, who wasn't on it, how many songs they were on it, whatever. It's cool that we have all 4 represented on at least one song. So for number 5 for me, it's You Wanted the Best.
All right. I think I used to like that song, and then as I got older, I don't like the fact that they're kind of airing their dirty laundry. But I know I used to like it just basically for the fact that, like you said, all 4 members do sing on it.
Yes.
And I think it's the only song that all 4 members play on it.
Yes.
I know it's the only track that Peter plays on drums on. He don't even play drums on I Finally Found My Way, which he sings. He don't even play drums on that. Which to me,
that's not his song. That's Paul wrote that. Paul and can't think of the other songwriter, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So sticking with Revenge again for a couple more songs. I had to give Paul a little bit of love there because there's a lot of songs. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like every song on Revenge because I do, but there's some I like more than others. But I definitely like more Gene's than I do Paul's.
Mm-hmm.
But when I went and started paring down the Paul songs, I really had to look at, okay, what songs off of here do I really like from Paul? And my 2 favorites were Take It Off and this one. And you got to have a ballad. And we talked about this song before. So Every Time I Look at You is my number 5. And I love Paul being dramatic, Paul doing the every time I look at you. And even in the video, he turns and looks at the camera.
Yeah.
But I love Every Time I Look at You. I probably like it a little bit better than Forever. I like the subject matter of it a little more. Like Forever is kind of like a song that you sing to somebody when the relationship is like full blown going well, and oh baby, me and you're going to be together forever. And every time I look at you, it's kind of like, ooh, I screwed up and I need to try to fix things, because it starts off with try to say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to break your heart. So,
Yeah.
um, so I like that song. I like a breakup song. What's the I still love you. You tell me that you're leaving. I'm trying to understand. I
Yeah.
like the songs. Those breakup kind of ballads kind of attract me a little more than oh, everything's good and we're so happy together. It those attract me because they're more real to me in a way.
Mhm.
Because every relationship has pain, even good ones. Every relationship has. Somebody says, somebody's not had enough to eat, or they're hangry, and they say something they don't really mean, and
Right.
you
Right.
know,
Yes,
um,
Forever is very like high school prom,
yeah. But
but
this is more of an adult an adult
yeah,
contemporary love song kind
yeah,
of.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
All right. So yeah, that's my 5.
Okay, so number 6 for me, this is the one I keep thinking you're gonna say. I keep thinking you're like, oh, this is the song he's talking about with Revenge and Gene. So I'm just gonna say it. Um, I love this song. I would say this is probably my favorite Gene song off of Revenge. I feel like it's just like Gene at his purest. Um, or at least what he was at that time, or what he wanted to be perceived as in the 90s. I feel like this is it. Um, Great song. I love the opening for the song. Absolutely love the opening for the song. Love the video for the song too. Number 6 off of Revenge, Domino.
Yep, Domino was on my list, and I love the video and I love the song, and that's definitely how Gene, the demon, what might not have appealed to some of the newer audience that they were trying to, but Gene driving around in the convertible with the sunglasses on, like he's too cool for school,
Yeah.
and he's Mr. It's Christine 16 grew up, and he's cruising and looking for Christine after she's 10 years older, and she's 26 now.
Yeah. She just
Yeah,
graduated from college. Yeah.
just graduated from college, and yeah, so Gene's ready to pick her up and show her the ropes. Uh, yeah, it was on my list, but I had to cut it because there is one more Gene song that I like better. It's probably my second. Oh God, it's hard to say. I'm not even going to try to rank them because I love Unholy, I love Spit, I love Thou Shalt Not. But my last Gene song off of Revenge, it might be my favorite because I get giddy whenever it gets later in the album. There's a hint, and it gets to this song, and that is Paralyzed.
Hmm.
I love Paralyzed. Love it, love it, love it. So that's my last track off of Revenge.
Okay. Let's see. We're up to number 7.
Mhm.
This one I put on my list for a few reasons. First, I do love the song. I think it's really good. And I think it's another example of if another band did this, a younger band or a band that was more involved in the grunge scene or like up and coming hard rock scene, I think this would have been way bigger for them than it was for Kiss. But that being said, I still think it's a great Kiss song. I love Gene's vocals on this song. They're so like guttural and just, oh, it's good. And then I had to include it as a tribute to you. So off of Carnival of Souls, number 7 in my head.
Yep. Yep. Great song. Great song. Named a channel after it. Great song. All right. So I am moving on to Carnival of Souls. Believe it or not, and a lot of the purists are going to start throwing stuff at the screen at me in a little bit because I'm telling you, believe it or not, I only have 3 songs off this album. 3. But there are songs that I like the best off this album. My 3, hands down, 3 favorite songs off this album, off of Carnival of Souls. And there are songs that I really stacking them up side by side, regardless of members of the band and regardless of what album it came off of, just what songs bring me more joy and more, oh, I can't wait to listen to this song. Not that many came off of Carnival of Souls, although I love that album. when it comes to stacked up against these other albums. So, but 3 songs and got to hit a Demon song right off. So the opening track, Hate, love Hate. I actually use it. It's actually the way I kind of remixed it and stuff. It's part of my intro now. So it's funny because my channel is called In My Head, and I used to use the In My Head music. And now my channel's still called In My Head, but I use the music to Hate.
Right.
As part of the intro. So
yeah.
it's still all Carnival of Souls.
My number 8 is actually a very close second for me in terms of my favorite song from this era of Kiss. It was kind of neck and neck between this one and God Gave Rock and Roll to You. Like I said earlier, I just forgot how good Psycho Circus was. It's not my favorite Kiss album at all. Not even in my top 5, but it's so much better than I thought it was. And I think that the hype surrounding this album kind of overshadowed the album itself. Because it was like, oh, it's their big reunion album. And it's the first time they're all on an album together in how many years. And it was, the merch and the Spencer's deals with all the merch and stuff. I mean, it was huge. And then you had like the album and you're like, oh yeah, there's an album, but let's get back to all the drama and let's get back to seeing them all in their makeup again. So I feel like this album gets overshadowed a little bit. And I think just overall people don't like it as much as they thought they were going to. That being said, I forgot how much I loved this song. I actually watched the music video for it recently, and yes, it's dated, but it's just, it's so good. It's a good song, undeniable. At number 8, off of Psycho Circus, title track, Psycho Circus.
Yeah, great song. And I got a comment about the Psycho Circus album once I get to it. So my next track is one that me and you shared. We share. Going to Paul, and it's my favorite song by Paul off the album. So the two songs I picked, one from Gene is my favorite, one from Paul is my favorite, and then there's a third track. But my next track off of Carnival of Souls, which is my 8, is Rain. Love Rain. Paul's vocals in Rain. Paul's vocals on the whole album he stretched himself so much and poured everything into making an album that he really didn't want to make. It was Gene's baby. Right. And he was making an album he really didn't want to make, but the songs he made, he did great. Just even like the little touching songs like I Will Be There for his son Evan, and then songs like Jungle, which is entirely too long. And then songs like Rain, those vocals in Rain, when he just yells that out, and holds it out. That was when his voice was still just so good before it started declining. So I love Rain.
We're up to number 9, right? Number 9. This one you and I share, and yeah, what you said earlier about it, completely agree with. Off of Revenge, Take It Off. I love that they still had this like 80s mindset, and I love that it kind of trickled over into the 90s and that they held on to that a little bit. It's just kind of a nice reminder of those previous albums. So yeah, that had to go on my list. So off of Revenge, Take It Off.
All right. My last song off Carnival of Souls. Like I said, I looked at this album and these are the 3 songs that I would have to have off this album. And we gotta have one from Bruce. So this is a Bruce era. So we gotta have one from Bruce. So my final pick and my number 9 pick off of Carnival of Souls is I Walk Alone. Amazing song. Bruce and Eric Singer, like, stomped a hole in this album and then flipped it over and stomped it out. I mean, they did amazing on it. This was Bruce's album. It was his swan song, and Eric Singer was right there for it. It's probably my favorite drumming from Eric Singer, period, on this album. So even though he's on several Kiss albums, he's on Revenge, Carnival of Souls, and Sonic Boom and Monster, but he outdrums himself on Carnival of Souls. doesn't get the love that he deserves from that album. Neither does Bruce. But yeah, and Bruce loves this album. Bruce plays songs off this album to this day. So yeah, I Walk Alone is one of my favorite Kiss songs. So yeah.
Very cool.
Yep.
Number 10 for me, this is where my list started to get a little tricky. And this is where I really had to go back, listen to the albums, and really try to get 20 songs. I mean, I do love these songs, but this is where it started to get a little tricky for me. But I did it, and this is a good one. I do like it. Number 10 off of Psycho Circus, Within. And that's all I have to say about that song.
All right. So I am my next round of tracks is off Psycho Circus. 10 through 15 or 10 through 14 are off Psycho Circus. So starting off, me and you share this one, the title track, Psycho Circus. And I think Psycho Circus, what you said earlier, I remember when Psycho Circus came out, and I remember the big push and all the stuff. It was just the huge from the reunion, and it was the merchandising blizzard. It was basically 77 through 79, but in the 90s. It was, 96, 97 marketing blizz. And even the album itself was a piece of marketing. I felt like that's how Kiss treated it. And I remember loving the album when it first came out, and I still love it. I still think it's a great album, but it lost some of its greatness to me when I found out how little Peter and Ace were actually involved in the album. It was basically Gene and Paul, a bunch of studio musicians, and Ace basically played on the song that he wrote. He played some leads here and there, but it was mostly, Tommy Thayer and all these other studio musicians. And so it was basically just no better than Dynasty all over. So at least
I think Dynasty's a better album. But
well, Dynasty is a better album, but Dynasty was also.
But I know what you're saying. Albums,
yeah, where Gene and Paul was just trying to keep the band going, because you had Peter that was off the rails, and Ace was starting to head that way. But at least Ace got a lot more songs. So I just felt like it was just a big, huge piece of merchandising, even though I still love it. So track number 10 for me, Psycho Circus.
Yeah. My number 11, you mentioned this earlier. No, it wasn't on your list, but you did mention it. I love this song. I feel like this is such a different song off this album than the rest of the album. It just sounds different to me. I don't know if anybody else would agree with that, but to me it does. It's just fun. It's a fun song. I really, really like it. So yeah, my number 11 off of Carnival of Souls is Jungle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Jungle. I just think it's got that long thing at the end of it that doesn't really go anywhere. And once it gets past Paul screaming that last time, whoa, in the jungle, and it starts to go into that where it's just Bruce and doing a lot of stuff, I have a tendency to get on to the next song. Number 11 for me and you share this. And that is Within, a demon song off of Psycho Circus. I love a good demon song. And I love the way Gene sings on it in that lower register, and it got guttural, but he's not growling. And then he goes into that scream. And I love it on the album. I've heard live recordings of it. It does not translate well live. So I love the studio recording version of it. So that is my number 11.
Number 12 for me, going back to Revenge. Just a fun song, just a good song. I think it fits on the album really well. It's just a song that, again, I just like. I don't have a lot to say about it other than I just like it. and it made my list. At number 12, off of Revenge, I just wanna listen to it when I want to listen to it. It's just a good song.
Yep. Yeah, I just want to take it off are kind of like sister songs to me. Paul's, still in that frame of mind he is, and take it off. He's picked up a girl at the Topless Club, and now he just wants want us. Yeah. So they both remind me a lot of each other. My next track off the Psycho Circus, my number 12. I love the song. It's great Paul song. I just want to pump my fist when I hear it. It's one of those songs that kind of everybody talks about. We Are One brings the Kiss family together. To me, it's this song, and it's got the longest title. But I pledge allegiance to the state of rock and roll. I love that song. What you think?
Again, I thought you were going to say a different song, but
okay. But I just put on my list. I pledge because it's the title. Yeah, I pledge allegiance to the state of rock and roll. I love that song. Paul sounds great in it.
He does. He really does. My number 13, we're on 13. My number 13 is off of Psycho Circus. Just again, another song that I like. I don't have a lot to say about it, and it is Dreamin'.
Dreamin'. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yep. Not the biggest fan of Dreamin', but there's definitely some funny how many songs are off of, like Paul has done songs that sounds like other people's songs. Like even I Just Wanna sounds like what is it? The Summertime Blues. And then Dreamin', he actually got sued by Alice Cooper for it sounding like 18. So my last track off of, I think I lied earlier. I said I was going through 14, but it actually only goes through 13. My number 13, last track off of Psycho Circus. You mentioned this one already. Into the Void. I love Into the Void. And I actually think it's one of those songs that the riff is better than the lyrics, which that happens a lot with Ace, if we're honest with ourselves. Ace's lyrics are sometimes a little
perfect.
Ace's lyrics. I know I got to put my blue Kool-Aid down now because I can't drink out of it and talk about Ace. But yeah, I love Into the Void though. So that is my last track off Psycho Circus. Mind you, I am at track 13.
Yeah.
We still have 2 albums to go, and I still have 7 songs to name. And I am done with the first 3 albums that you said you picked everything off of. This is where the popcorn starts coming.
It does. You're right. It does. In your direction.
In my direction.
In your direction. Okay, so number 14 for me, this is one of my favorite songs off this album. I always forget how much I like this song. And then as I'm listening to it, it's just like listening to it for the first time all over again. It's so good. I love it. Off of Carnival of Souls, number 14, Seduction of the Innocent.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one.
Every time I hear that song, I close my eyes and I feel like I'm on a camel going through the desert.
Yeah.
It has that Middle Eastern feeling to it.
It would have been good on Hot in the Shade.
It would have been good on Hot in the Shade. It would have just audibly matched what they were going for visually with the album cover.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Y'all gotta love me after I get done with this. From Sonic Boom, 6 songs from Sonic Boom. Carla's like, I'm done. Find you another co-host. I want to. Here's what we're going to make a little game out of this. You're going to tell yours. I'm going to tell mine, and then we'll let the viewers choose which ones they like the best.
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay, all right. So be prepared, guys. 14 through 20. Y'all be ready down in the comments. All right, here we go. What's your 14? What's your 14 going to be against my 14? We're going to do a little miniature round of track.
No, 15. Here. I just did 14. Did you do 14?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't think you did 14.
Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, I'm not done 14 yet.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So we'll have to start with the next one then. All right. So we'll start with, no, you did 14, right?
I did 14.
What was,
Yeah. So you
what
have to
was
do
your
14.
14? What was your
Seduction of the
14?
Innocent.
All right. So my number 14 off Sonic Boom, starting it off, Modern Day Delilah.
Cool.
You're not going to say anything. You're
Cool.
like, cool, cool.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. You can be wrong.
You can. This is a no
That's-
judgment zone. No judgment zone.
Right. Even if you're wrong, it's still no judgment.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, we'll let the viewers decide down the
Yes,
comments.
we will. At number 15 for me, going back to Revenge, I believe you had this one as well. Wonderful song, fantastic song, fits so well on the album. At number 15 off of Revenge, Paralyzed.
Yes. Yep. Sure enough. All right. Wow. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that your 15 is better than my 15. But
course.
I like my 15. It's one of my, oh, gosh, I got 4 Gene songs off of Sonic Boom. So apparently I like Gene on Sonic Boom. My 15 is from Gene, Russian Roulette. I love Russian Roulette. It kind of sounds like a lot of these songs on Sonic Boom and Monster. It sounds like they were trying to recapture what they did during Rock and Roll Over and Love Gun. A lot of people feel like they succeeded. A lot of people feel like they failed. I think that I wouldn't say that they failed or succeeded. I would say they tried.
They definitely tried. No one can argue. They tried.
They tried.
Yeah.
They tried. I love Russian Roulette though. But yeah, so what's your 16?
My 16 is a song that I thought you were going to say earlier when you were talking about Psycho Circus and like a song that like unites everyone. I thought for sure this is what you were going to say. This one was like, this barely made my list. This was one where I was like, I have to get one more song. Okay, I'll just put this one on. It is good though. I do like it. At number 16 off of Psycho Circus, Raise Your Glasses.
That's a good one. That is a good one. I could see how you thought I was going there because, yeah, that's another. Hey, it's kind of like Kiss's version of "We're the Champions." Raise your glasses.
Yes.
That's a great one. And let's see. I was wrong. This next one is not a Gene. I looked at it real quick, and then I was like, okay, my 16 is not a Gene song. It's a Paul song, but I love this song. It is probably my favorite Paul song off of Sonic Boom, and Never Enough is, I think, Paul song. That's a great Paul song. That's a typical Paul Stanley song, and it's a really, really good song off of Sonic Boom. So that's my 16.
My number 17, going back to Carnival of Souls. Again, like I said, for a few other songs, I don't really have a lot to say about it. It's just a good song. I feel like it fits on the album pretty well. Number 17 off of Carnival of Souls, I Confess.
That's a good song too. I feel like it starts a little slow, but once it gets going, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can see how you felt like you were scraping the bottom of the barrel, even though kind of, not really, because the 3 albums you're picking off of are 3 really good albums, but 2 of them kind of being very controversial with Psycho Circus and Carnival of Souls. Really, the strongest out of the 3 being Revenge.
Yes.
So, in my opinion, and you're averaging 6 songs per, 3 times 6, 18. So you're having to pick up to 6 songs off of every album. So I can imagine it starts getting a little tough. My cat just moved my stand.
I
she's
did.
In here walking around.
I did 8 off Revenge, 7 off of Psycho Circus, 5 off of Carnival of Souls.
Yeah. All right. So my next one off of my number 17, it's back to a Gene song. Most people I've ever talked to, they hate this song. And it just has a rockabilly feel to me about it. It's Gene being Gene, talking about himself in the most boisterous, egotistical way. And it feels like to me, I think if they were shooting for it to come off of an album, it would have been Rock and Roll Over, because it has that dun, 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 back and forward feel to it. But my number 17 is Yes, I Know Nobody's Perfect. I love Yes, I Know. He even says a couple things in it that kind of reminds me whenever he used to do on Family Jewels, and he'd be, that's why it's great to be me. Because he even has some things, and he says like that in the song. It's like, okay, this is like, could have been Family Jewels theme song. I know, yes, I know nobody's perfect, but maybe I come awfully close. So I like the little faux stuttering that he does in it. But yeah, I love Yes, I Know.
I might have to re-listen. I might have to re-listen to Sonic Boom.
Just give it a re-listen. Just
I might.
Gene's song.
You're describing the songs very well. Like, they make me want to listen to them.
Gene's songs are so fun. Paul's got good songs off of it, but I love Gene's. Gene's songs are very fun.
I mean, I've listened to Sonic Boom and Monster. It's been years, years since I've listened to those albums. Pretty much since they came out. And
when you listen to them, you need to message me and let me know what you think.
I will.
You come over to the dark side. Listen, I used to be one of those people that would not listen to Sonic Boom. I flat out refused to listen to it because of what I used to call, I don't harshly call them now anymore, people, so don't get upset, but the imposters. I used to get so pissed off because of the imposters, and I was so mad that Gene and Paula wasn't mad at Tommy and Eric because they just being in Kiss. And heck, I might put the Peter Criss makeup on if you I'd notice I called it the Peter Criss makeup. I might put Peter Criss's makeup on if you give me a fat check and going to put me on an album, put me on a tour. Can't blame the guys.
Yeah,
I blame Gene and Paul. After the reunion tour, they should have or the farewell tour, they should have took the makeup off and just go back to making music. So instead of being half of a tribute band, I'm off my soapbox.
Okay. Number 18, off of Revenge. This is a song that, like a few other songs, I forget how much I like this when I listen to it. So it's always a nice, pleasant surprise. Number 18 off of Revenge, Heart of Chrome.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's one of Paul's songs. I'm like, yeah, I like it. And there's another song on there that he has that sounds it sounds kind of like Heart of Chrome, and I get the two of them confused all the time. My number 18, 2 songs left on Sonic Boom. The last one is going to make some people, that's going to blow their stinking brains. My last one on Sonic Boom. But my number 18, it's kind of like a demon song. I love it. I love it. He has a scream in it that I just think is so great. But it's Gene's I'm an Animal. I love that. I'm alive in the streets, I love where they play, back and forth on the lyrics. So I love I'm an Animal. It's awesome.
My number 19, this is the one I really like. I went back and forth on if I should put this on my list or not, because I like it and I don't like it. But it's not that I don't like the song. I just don't know if I like it on the album. But then I kind of like it on the album. Like, I'm very conflicted about this song. But it made it on my list because I had to just, do you like the song, yes or no? Regardless of everything else, do you like the song? And I do. So that's why it's on my list. Off of Psycho Circus, number 19, I Finally Found My Way. Should it have been on that album? No. Do I love that Paul gave Peter the song to sing? Yes. Do I love the song? I mean, do I like the song? Yes. It's just, I'm very conflicted about it, but I do like it. So
I'm one of the people that stands in the corner that I Finally Found My Way. I like it. I'm glad Peter got a song. I'm glad Paul gave it to him. And one of my favorite, and I do like the song. I really, really like it. I don't skip it. One of my favorite parts in that song is during the bridge when Paul comes in and is singing with him during that. Remember how we used to hide away. I love that. Yeah, I like it. So I didn't pick it, but I like it. All right, let me get ready here because I know a lot of people, they're going to be like, you mean to tell me that you picked this song off of songs you could have picked off of Revenge, Carnival of Souls, or Psycho Circus? You picked this song. And I'm going to say yes, because I don't know why, but I actually really like this song. It's one of the things on Sonic Boom that I actually, when I get to this song, I'm like, oh man, I love this song. And that is from Fake Freely, Tommy Thayer, When Lightning Strikes. I love When Lightning Strikes. I think it's a great song. And even though he's, appropriating the spaceman and playing or appropriating Ace and playing like Ace and singing like Ace and singing the subject matter like Ace, he was encouraged to do that. I don't genuinely think that he's doing that on his own, but people have mixed opinions about that. But I chose When Lightning Strike, like it or not. Just don't unsubscribe.
Cool. Okay. My number 20, this is the last one. And again, it's just I just think Revenge overall is an album for me that I forget how much I liked. Mm-hmm. And because for me, God Gave Rock and Roll to You, just kind of overtakes the whole album for me. So I just kind of forget how much of the rest of the album I really, truly love. And I really, truly do like this song. I also always forget that Bob Ezrin produced this album. I always forget that because it doesn't sound very Bob Ezrin-y to me, especially compared to his other 2 Kiss albums that he did. I always forget that he produced this album. My number 20 off of Revenge is Tough Love.
Cannot believe that Nasty Carla that did not pick Spit. I cannot believe he did not pick Spit.
Didn't pick Spit. Didn't pick Unholy.
I kept waiting on you to pick Spit. That's crazy.
It wasn't trashy enough for me.
All right. And my last one, my number 20, is one track off of Monster. And honestly, I actually had 2 songs that I'd picked. I tried to do a Gene and a Paul, and I just couldn't. The Gene song I originally had, I'll go ahead and say, was Wall of Sound. I know when some people, like the people that came out during the Sonic Boom Monster era that was around for that, some of the younger Kiss fans, a lot of them really like Monster and a lot of them really like Sonic Boom. And it seems like more of them lean towards Monster, and I don't really know why, because I think that Sonic Boom is the better album of the 2, which as far as song writing goes and the sound goes. But hey, to each their own. But I did manage to pick one song off of Monster, and it is a Paul song. It's the opening track, Hell or Hallelujah. So that's my number 20. So that's it.
We had, I believe we had 6 songs in common. Into the Void off of Psycho Circus, Rain off of Carnival of Souls, Psycho Circus, Take It off Revenge, Within off of Psycho Circus, and Paralyzed off of Revenge. Is that 6?
Yep, it sure is. That's what we got.
Yep.
All right, cool. Well, it was 6 out. Not so much because whenever you said that you did not do any off of the final 2 albums, and I knew that I'd done 6, there were 6 that you weren't going to pick. So I knew we were working against odds at that point in time. But 6 still is good considering you only picked off the first 3 albums. Mm-hmm. So, all right. Well, that's it for this one. Put your list of your favorite tracks off these albums down in the comments, and you can talk not too bad. You can talk about our picks, but don't talk about us personally. But anyway.
Oh, I don't care. Don't bother me.
Don't bother me either. Actually, hate comments get more algorithm. I wish people would figure that out. But anyway, that's all we got for this one. We'll see you in an upcoming video. We're shooting these like 2 at a time, so I can't keep up with when they're actually coming out or whatever. But I know that we have some videos coming up of me and Carla together, and we've had some videos of us together so far. So you can just check those out. And remember that you have to have your entry in by commenting over on the other video for the Gene Migo doll. You have to have that in by the 26th, and the winner will be revealed during our June 7th Kiss Summer Playlist episode. All right, that's it for this one. Carla, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we will see you again in the next one.
Bye.